Can you hear me now? Bow, 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 bow. All right. It's weird how different it is when you haven't done it in a while. Like, it feels like I haven't done it in 47 years. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. Hello, welcome back. Good to see you. Hope it's good to see me. I hope so. I'm making this with a little bit of like a lack of preparation, so I apologize if it seems rushed or if I seem a little panicked. I'm actually really anxious about filming because I haven't done it in a while, which is a sign that I'm not doing enough of it. But today is my 6-year anniversary on YouTube. My first YouTube video dropped 6 years ago today, so I thought I should probably do a video. Seemed like a good way to go about things. I apologize if you can hear the outdoors, but it is super nice outside and it is fall, so the wind is very leaf-filled, so it is a little bit whooshy outside, kind of like a David Lynch movie. So I was gonna do some vlog style stuff, but I think I'm gonna hold off on that and maybe just put out like a extra random vlog shit I have video in a couple days. I think I'm just gonna quickly catch you guys up on, I don't know, stuff. A couple months ago I had some family stuff go on, and things just kind of like stunted for a short period of time. I was kind of like doing nothing at all, probably about 2 months. I was just kind of existing. It was just a lot of shit, and it wasn't really my shit to really get into. I've been kind of trying to like roll myself back into normal life. I had missed a lot of my gaming streams too during that time. I am still streaming on Monday and Thursday night on Twitch. On Mondays, I usually stream around 6 p.m. Central, and on Thursdays, I usually stream around 8 p.m. Central. However, sometimes Travis and I are currently sharing the microphone. We have a backup microphone, which is fine if we're on a Zoom call, but if we're doing a recording, this is the only mic that doesn't sound like absolute garbage. So we're kind of sharing that. I think your claws are sharp enough, sir. Can you take a break? Thanks. Lost track of my fucking thought there. Thanks, Lore. I am still streaming on Mondays and Thursdays, but sometimes it does vary a little bit because of me sharing. Sometimes it does vary a little bit because of me sharing the mic with Travis. So until his mic can get here, and it is a little bit of an investment, so money is a little bit of a thing. For that, we're going to be doing that. I wrote a short story a couple weeks ago. That is still kind of sitting. I had Travis go over it and review it, and he had a question, and I haven't figured out the answer to the question that he had. So I'm still working on that. Honestly, what happened today was I looked down at the date and I went, oh shit, isn't today my YouTube anniversary? That's how I got here. So yeah, I thought maybe one of the things I would do, since I haven't been back in a while, but I've been here for a long time, is that I would talk about 6 things that I've learned in my 6 years on YouTube. More on AuthorTube. The first thing I learned is that you don't have to follow other people's rules, and that's super important, and I think a lot of people forget that when we get into the community groove. We start to think that we have to like all fit into the same rule set and we have to do things the same way, and that's not true. That includes things like self-publishing or traditional publishing, and what editors you hire and how you go through the editing process and what way you write, those kinds of things. We can all be doing them in our own way and still have all those ways be correct. So I think it's important that we remember that, and it's really easy to forget it because you do get into this sea of people who seem to be doing things one way and you're like, am I doing it wrong? I don't know that I would blame the community itself for doing it. I think I blame community in general for making people do that in general. But you don't have to follow the same rules as everyone else just because someone, tells you that self-publishing is the only way to go or traditional publishing is the only way to go. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Doesn't mean that has to work for you. It's great if it worked for them. But just keep that in mind. We all have this kind of mentality of, if you don't take my suggestion, that's a personal slight, and it's not. It's one of the things you see, and I'm not there anymore, but I used to see this a lot on Facebook where somebody would go, my car's broken, what mechanic should I go to? And 4 people will list mechanics, and 3 people end up mad because they didn't go with their mechanic. not everything is going to work for everybody, and you don't have to be offended because something doesn't work for you that works for someone else, or that something works for someone else, or something works for you and it doesn't work for someone else. Nobody should be upset about it. The second thing I've learned, 1.5 was don't talk with cat hair in your mouth. The second thing I've learned is no matter what we call ourselves, authors, writers, pantsers, outliners, AuthorTubers, whatever we call ourselves, we don't focus enough on the fact that we have like very big things in common, such as the fact that we all probably really enjoy words, and we probably all really enjoy storytelling, and we spend so much time trying to separate things by genre and age group and all these things, and I feel like sometimes we lose that there are fundamental things that we do all have in common. That also means that because there's these fundamental things we all have in common, and we're all doing such very different things, we don't need to be jealous of or scared of each other. We should be really encouraging each other, sharing our successes with each other and being excited about them. The third thing I learned most recently this year, was that writing isn't always a team sport. I know a lot of us really enjoy writing sprints and writing together and that camaraderie, but it doesn't always work. And for me right now, that's not working, and that's okay. It's okay if you only attend sprints to like engage with other authors and you're not writing during those times because sprints don't work for you. That's okay. And it's okay if your writing is not something you can do as a team sport. The next thing is that things go wrong. It doesn't matter how perfectly you have everything lined up, how much you think you know what you're gonna do, how much exactly what you plan is going to work out, exactly the way you planned it. Something's going to go wrong. Some things are out of your control. There is nothing you can do. Keeping in mind that things always are going to go wrong and that it's okay and you shouldn't let yourself like lose your mind over it. And don't let other people act like you're some sort of moron because something went wrong, because something's going to go wrong for them too. You might not notice it. They may not say it out loud, but something goes wrong. My guess is that the people who don't talk about things going wrong have things going wrong that are much more private, and you probably don't want to know about it. Yep. Things are going wrong for all of us. Number 5 is there are no actual credentials for most writing jobs. Being a writer doesn't have required credentials. Being an editor doesn't have required credentials. Most publishing companies don't, they're not run by someone who has a publishing company degree or anything. That's not a thing. So you have to vet people personally, which means you have to look at their work and you have to engage them personally and see if you guys jive. One of the things about that is that that means you have to really work very hard to read people. And that can be really hard, especially if we're talking about reading people on a Zoom call. But that also then means that you should probably talk to other clients and things, because it's not hard to get scammed by someone who calls themselves an editor or something, but doesn't really have their credentials, because there aren't real credentials. Without like personal testimonies or examples, you would be hard pressed to know for sure if somebody was trustworthy. Just make sure that before you agree to give money to someone, or you start giving money to someone, even worse, that you are aware of what you're expecting from them and they're aware of what you expect from them, to make sure that nobody gets ripped off. And the last thing I learned in my 6 years on AuthorTube is that no matter what you do, someone isn't going to like it. No matter how careful you are to not upset someone, someone's going to get upset. You just have to accept that there are so many different kinds of people who have so many different kinds of beliefs and things, that expecting that you'll never make a mistake is absurd. You should just be aware that that's probably going to happen. Despite what you might see in YouTube drama, a real honest mistake isn't that hard to get by in the real world. You admit you made a mistake and then you move on. So it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. But it's far more important to like get past your failures than it is to not have them. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to have things that don't go right. We're all going to have those, things we wish we would have done different. But it doesn't really help us any to dwell on that. So we just have to kind of figure out how to move forward. And, you know, if someone doesn't like the way you're going, then they're welcome to not go for the ride. But just keep that in mind when you start to see people, you know, saying they didn't like your book, or that they thought your video was you being a dick or whatever. If you're, you know, coming from an honest place, then don't let a couple of people telling you that you might be off base be the end-all be-all indicator. Keep in mind that you might be. You might have fucked up, and you should apologize if you did. Frequently, people just don't like what you're doing because they decided not to like what you were doing. So be willing to honestly look at that, or ask someone who can to look at it, because you can also have both happening at once. So yeah, 6 years is a long time. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I thought it was. I didn't think it was 6 years, but I don't know what I thought it was. I think I thought it was 5. Yeah, 6 years is a long damn time. And I haven't been posting as often lately, but that doesn't mean that, you know, I'm not here. I think that's going to do it for today. I am going to look at my footage that I have and see if there's anything I can throw together for you guys of like a chunk of stuff. But there might not be. What the fuck do I know? Anyway. I don't know, but I am on Twitch Mondays and Thursdays, so go follow me, twitch.tv/wordsmithsarah. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and if you go over to Twitch, don't forget to follow me there. I'm also on Twitter most of the time, so come visit me there too. Bye!